Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So, Dokkan Fest Kale, her banner has dropped. I don't know, man. I'm thinking that you guys are going to be very, very well off by not summoning on this banner. So if you are a JP Dokkan player, because of course this banner's on JP right now, Golden Week is the next stuff. Well, okay, so we have this banner. We're going to get a yellow coin LR banner in 2 weeks. And then we're going to get a dual Dokkan Fest in 3 weeks. So I would think it's probably best to skip this banner. Kale is very good. I think Kale is actually very likely the strongest TUR in the game, even better than God Goku. Her banner unit Frost is kind of ass. Unfortunately, he sucks. We do have Kid Goku. He is very, very good. Still a top tier unit. The Resurrection F Blues, unfortunately, you know, them being as kind of mediocre as they are hurts this banner. We have Kefla, who, you know, solid character. Probably going to get used with Kale's team, right? Although we'd have to be very careful with them. But, you know, in a longer fight, this unit can do good. SCR Kefla, of course, is ass. And Ginyu's pretty good. So you do have 7 characters here. Several of them are really good, but I don't know. I think that you should really be saving your stones for just, like, stronger banners. This just doesn't seem good enough to me. Frost is an L, Kefla's an L, right? Like, Ginyu is very good, but it's like you have to run, like, Ginyu with the Ginyu Force characters. It's not like you could just run Ginyu on random teams and he's going to be, like, as effective, right? Like, the Ginyu everyone knows and loves is the Ginyu with the Ginyu Force, right? So, I would say you could safely skip this Kale banner and wait for her to return in the future. Kale and God Goku are going to be huge monsters. Like, it's like, yeah, like Pat the Power Kid Goku is on here. Like, if they don't increase, like, power creep, like the difficult content events and stuff like that anytime soon, it's going to get ridiculous, man. Like, just thinking about how, like, good some of these banners might start to become. I mean, we're surely going to be getting very difficult upgraded content at some point, though, right? Like, it is going to happen. So, all right, we have a new Dokkan event here. So, I mean, man, look at this. It's in 2023. Of all the Dokkan Fests we've had, only Super 17 is like a rerun, a new stage added. A lot of these have been new, straight up new Dokkan Fests. So Kale's the boss. Looks like the characters we want to use are the Tournament of Power Gokus, mainly that we're fighting Kale, Caulifla, and Kefla. No mastered UI in here. Remember that STR UI Goku is actually like the UI Goku that fights Kefla. Even though his like LR art is essentially from, you know, posing while fighting Jiren, but yeah. Okay, so all these Gokus are the ones that does extra stuff against Kale. We have the 4 phases. Looks like the last phase is probably going to end with Caulifla there as well. Interesting. Okay. So we have Kale. She awakens with the medals. Kale, again, is very good. And then we have Frost. Those are the 2 characters. So, all right. Let's go ahead and jump into the Kale Dokkan event. I do think Dokkan is in a pretty good spot right now where we are consistently getting the representation for a lot of characters, right? Like, it's like Dokkan, you know, they were able to get their... Well, it's funny. The last hype character they did, God Goku... He is one of those characters who needed representation, right? Like, God Goku didn't have a Dokkan event. But they got their Saiyan out of the way. So now they can, you know... Well, although Kale is also a Saiyan. It's funny. It's like, Kale's like a non-hype character, but guess what? It's also a Saiyan. It's like Dokkan, you know, they can't... Like, they're not going to go very long, right? Without just pure Saiyan after pure Saiyan. Alright, so we're fighting Kale. This is the World Tournament SSR, if I'm not mistaken, right here. We have a very interesting team here. Or, I guess what I want to say is a very interesting first rotation. What I always do for these Dokkan events is I will jump in kind of with a team of transformation characters, right, is usually what I do. Back in the day, it used to be like, oh, like, you know, could these Dokkan event fights put up a challenge against us? But really, we've had no difficulties whatsoever with Dokkan events for years. I want to say the last time a Dokkan event was kind of like, oh, like, you know, kind of surprised me a little bit, caught me off guard. The last time I would say that something like that happened was probably STR Namek Goku. I think when he came out, I remember his, like, the rage mode, like, sort of like boss or gimmick thing that he has was hitting, like, as hard as a Super Battle Road enemy at the time. So that Goku seemed very formidable. I know that, you know, Physical Dragon Ball Super Broly, the next character we have in rotation, he's actually another character who had a Dokkan event that caught a lot of people because his, on Super Attack, he lowered your defense by a lot, right? Which made it easy to lose, right? Bosses lowering your defense is one of the easiest ways that bosses can kind of, you know, cause us to take L's and stuff like that. All right, so here we go. Oh, wow, we could... Yeah, full extreme class. So, Hearts, literally the first turn Hearts is here, and we could transform. Let's pop both of these, sure. You know, Frieza, remember, Frieza, Golden Frieza does fight Kale in the manga. So let's go and do this.
究極の進化をご覧なさい。この金色の体が苔脅しではないこと教えて差し上げましょう。これが宇宙の種の力だ。さあ、新しい宇宙の幕開けだ。
Dio, man, damn, that was, oh man, I remember when Goresh translated, you know, that little tidbit for us. Yeah, he will have an active skill and it will be voiced, and we're all like, oh, Dio is coming to Dokkan, the hype, man. Good times, good times. I'm definitely looking forward to the Heroes characters this year, because there's no way they're not going to give us Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito this year, right? Surely they're going to give us what we want, which is the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. I think the chances are very good we are going to get him. Heroes units are always fun, because I enjoy now, like, new named characters coming into the game and stuff like that, right? And Heroes introduced a bunch of them. Hearts, the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. There was Golden Metal Cooler, and then, of course, Dark Janemba as well. What is the global translation? I believe it's Dark Janemba. All right, so here's the little transformation, and then, you know, Kale then goes into Super Saiyan 2. Remember, one thing we still do need from really both of the girls here is we don't really have standalone Super Saiyan 1 versions of both Kale and Caulifla. Both of them we could get Super Saiyan 1 versions. They do have one card, but it's, whatchamacallit? The LR for Kale and Caulifla. The LR, they're both Super Saiyan 2. The TUR, they're both Super Saiyan 1. And then the SSR, they're both base. That's the one. Let's pop Broly's... Broly could go crazy in multiple enemies. Yeah, let's do Broly's active skill here. Watch him go crazy. Broly is another character that I'm ready for them to spam Broly at us. I don't care what needs to be done or how it can be done, but I am ready for dominating Brolys to return to Dokkan Battle. I remember this guy was so crazy. This guy's now 4 years old. That is so nuts to think about this LR Broly right here. And then, of course, man, his EZA. I do not have super high expectations for his EZA, but we will see. I do know that LR Gohan and Goten, I bet they're probably going to EZA for Goku Day this year. Because, like, they're kind of the oldest Dokkan Fest LR at this point that doesn't have an EZA, right? The Gohan and Goten. And there, by the way, there is the Kale Dokkan event. We saw a lot of transformations. We got that Dragon Ball Z Broly right there. There's still, man, yeah, there's so much Broly stuff they could do. The first Broly movie, there's a lot. And then, of course, I mean, Dragon Ball Super Broly, it's just ridiculous, right? Like, Wrath Broly, like, they could make 3 LRs out of all the attacks and animations that Broly does. It's crazy, right? Craziness. So, there we go. There is the Kale Dokkan event. Again, I would advise a lot of you JP players to not summon for Kale. It's like, yeah, I get that she's the new shiny hype, but Golden Week is coming up soon. I would definitely say wait for that.